This is why I believe that real estate wholesaling is the best online business that you can start in 2025 if your goal is to get to 20K per month consistently. I've been in the game for 3 years now. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing, in coaching, and I've tried everything from cold calling to agencies, and I know exactly what works and what doesn't work. Today, my business does over $100,000 per month, and we have helped dozens of other wholesalers do the same, not with gimmicks, but with real systems and processes that gets motivated seller leads on demand 24/7. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly why wholesaling, specifically real estate arbitrage, outperforms any of the other online business models in 2025, and how you can start building your 20K per month machine, even if you're brand new.
Now, let's start building your 20K per month machine. There are three pillars to a 20K per month online business. Number one, you need to have high profit margins. Number two, scalable traffic, in our case, with inbound leads. Number three, you need to have a no product fulfillment needed, where you don't hold money for inventory and basically everything that you're making is profit. And now I want to talk about the four common online businesses that people may choose from. And let's see how they stack up against wholesaling. Number one, you have drop shipping, where the startup cost can be very low, anywhere from 500 to 3K. But in the skills required, I would say it's a medium because you got to know how to do marketing, how to do ads, product research, kind of like all those things. The income ceiling, I would say, is medium, but it takes 3 to 6 months to get to a 20K per month online business. Now, there's a lot of things you need to know in terms of like research and products. So that's why this is not as scalable. And the other thing is Amazon FBA. On this one, the startup cost is going to be the highest because you need to have money for inventory, but you're letting Amazon kind of do the delivery and you're using the platform for leverage. But the skills required, I'd say, would be medium to high as well. You need to know product sourcing, SEO, which is search engine optimization. You need to know about logistics, branding, and for most people, I mean, this just becomes very tedious in order to kind of get there. But once you start getting some traction, the income ceiling, I would say, is medium to high, but it's very capital intensive. And the speed to 20K, I'd say it would be 6 to 12 months if you are good. And if you're someone that's like an expert, of course, you can go through this pretty quick, but it takes a long time to get there. Now with SMMA, which is like social media marketing or like agencies, the startup costs, they're very, very low, but the skill is very high. Why? Because you need to know how to market, how to do sales, how to do fulfillment, system, all those things. And most people are not in a position to learn that because they need to go through a job that teaches them how to do that, or they'll need to risk their capital. And then it comes of income ceiling, I would say it's on the medium side. Um, and the speed to 20K per month, I would say it's low because depending on the niche that you pick, typically you're going to be charging anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. But there's a lot of churn where people like they may work with you for 1 to 2 months and then they stop, and then you need to acquire like a new customer, and usually you're running ads to acquire them. So after you factor in the cost, I mean, unless you're really good, getting past 20K, I mean, it just becomes very hard. Coaching, with coaching, the startup cost is very low, but on this one, the skill required is very, very high. Why? Because you need sales, content, delivery, positioning systems, and you just basically need a lot of knowledge in order for people to pay you. That way, you can give them the value that they're paying you for. The income ceiling on this is very, very high because you're basically trading your time for money. And then once you set up something once, you can just keep on selling it. And the speed to 20K, it's very fast if you're an expert, but most people don't have anything that they could coach on. And, it just takes time to get there. Now, with wholesaling, the startup cost is very low. Now, you may start doing kind of like the other channels like cold calling, texting, all those. Those are very cheap. But with the skills required, I would say is low because once you adopt the sales process, the marketing, the lead conversions that we kind of teach our students, you start kind of getting deals from the get go. And the income ceiling is very high because you're making 20K, 15K, 10K per deal. Or as opposed with the other ones, I mean, you have to have like inventory, you need to put a lot of money up front. On here, since you're not actually buying the property, you just kind of get paid the difference. And I'll go into wholesaling and what it actually is. But to get to 20K, you only need 1 to 2 deals per month. And it's very, very easy to do as long as you follow a good system and process. So let's talk about what wholesaling is. So basically, you're marketing to motivated sellers to get them to sell for cash. And the goal is to put the property on the contract, market it to end buyer or like a flipper or maybe like a retail buyer, and to get paid. And the cool thing is, like I said, you don't actually have to buy the house, because let's say you're putting a property on the contract for 70,000 and you find a buyer for 80,000. Well, you pocket the 10K difference without having to buy the property, because you have a timeline of the closing. So let's say you have 30 days, you have those 30 days to find that buyer to get paid. And this is why I like it, because there's no fulfillment needed, and you don't have to buy like all these houses, like the fix and flippers, that they have to take the property down and do all the repairs and have those inventory costs and the interest costs and the money costs of just like owning the property. So I rather just get paid the difference without having to risk more of my capital, and my capital I can invest it in marketing so that I get more deals. Now, let's talk about how we do wholesaling, which we call real estate arbitrage. So, instead of cold calling and texting all those things, we market using Facebook ads, because we already know like all the people, they are on Facebook. And basically, our job is to put out a good ad that makes them raise their hand, which we teach you how to do. And then they'll go into a lead form, and then they'll submit their information. And then you qualify the seller, get them an offer, put the property on the contract, find the buyer, you assign it, and then you basically get paid. So I like to simplify it as much as possible, where our job as wholesalers, we just market, we get deals, and we sell them, and we get paid. And if you could break it down as super simple like that, you're gonna make more money. And I want to talk about why now is the best time to get into wholesaling. Seller motivation is at an all-time high. I mean, you see everything that's going on in the country, the interest rates, the tariffs. People have fear. They can make their payments, which, would make it good for us to get properties on the contract, because we can sell them fast, get them cash to solve their problems. But the cool thing about wholesaling is that the entire business can be run online. So you can be in Miami or whatever and have your business somewhere else. And since everything's kind of virtual, you can work from anywhere that you please, and you can do it like whenever you want. And the cool thing is, like, most wholesalers are still cold calling and doing those old methods. So it's better for us, because, like, okay, let them work harder. We can work smarter, put up good ads with Facebook, and then get those motivated leads on demand that they say like they want to sell to us, instead of us having to chase them. And I kind of want to go over some of the real results that we've had with our ads. So I've made 150K in profit in the last month, and we only spend like 10K a month on Facebook. Our cost per lead is $35. So anyone that raised their hand, it costs us $35. And we make anywhere from $17,000 to $20,000 per deal. And it only takes us 20 to 25 leads to get one closed deal. So if you multiply 20 times 35, that makes it like $800, $900 to make 20K. I mean, that's like a 20X. And like I said, just people just like to overcomplicate things. And I want to show you kind of the deals that we've closed the last couple weeks. So this was all kind of like in June, and then this is July so far, and we have a couple different closings. But as you can see, a lot of the students that we work with and wholesalers, this one got the third lead on their contract. My guy got started getting deals pretty quick. This guy, pretty solid ROI thus far. Now, since we got some novations, they'll probably be making 10 to 15x on whatever they spend. My other client, for lead, 45K profit. This other guy, bunch of testimonials that you have here. Miami, it works in any of the metros. And basically, as long as you implement this process, like, you start getting deals. And as long as you have a good system and processes to make people convert. Now, let's talk about some common myths about wholesaling. Some people may think that you need a license to wholesale, and that's not true. You can do it in a lot of different states without a license. I think there's only like a handful that require it. A lot of people may think that you need a lot of money to get started. But since we're not buying the properties, I mean, you don't need to have like hundreds of thousands in savings, since you're basically arbitraging the deal and getting paid the difference. Some people may say that it's too saturated. I mean, I think this is good because I mean it means that there's money in there. But the majority of the times, like most wholesalers are still doing those cold calls and like texting, which is fine. Like I said, let's let them do that. We can work smarter with Facebook ads and get the inbound leads directly to us, where instead of we having to chase them, we're attracting them. Another misconception is that people think that you need to lie to sellers or manipulate them. But the truth is, a lot of the properties that we get under contract, we market it on the MLS because rather than have to sell to a wholesaler, I'm sorry, to a flipper and make like little profit, I'd rather make the most amount of profit that I can. So we have like a very, very transparent process that we tell the sellers where we tell them exactly what we're going to do. Like, hey, we're going to market it. Like, you want this price, allow us to market it and we'll get you that money and we'll pocket the difference. And with our sales process, you can do that. But a lot of the times people think that you need to be like scammy or lie to them about like your fees. But I think that the more transparent that you are, the better that is going to serve you. Now, what is the truth? The truth is that you need to have motivated leads plus a working system. And the real skill is actually owning your lead engine. Because if you're only depending like on somebody else, like an agency or call calling, like once they do like a regulation or they don't want to work on your stuff, I mean, you're toast because you don't have a business because you're depending on other people. But when you own your own lead engine with paid ads, like I said, the inbound leads come to you, so you control the lead flow. And as long as you have a good sales process, you'll be able to contract these deals. And like I was saying, like you stop chasing and you start attracting, and you can build the business that you want to build. And it doesn't take that much money to get to 20K per month. And you can scale it as big as you want. Now, the truth is that most wholesalers fail because they are doing that cold outreach. Like I was saying, like texting, getting hung up, like saying, "Oh, you called me. What's your offer?" I mean, that's like low leverage. And most wholesalers, they don't have a system, which means they have inconsistent deals. And then they have that dependency on agencies or luck where they don't know what they're fighting for. They don't know what the goal is. They don't know how the conversions work. But in reality, wholesaling is just like sales and marketing, where it's just all about numbers. You need to set X amount of appointments. You need to give out X amount of offers. And for example, for us, out of 4 offers that we send out, we get one deal under contract and we know we're going to make 15 to 20K. So it's easy for me to be like, okay, we only need 300 leads this month in order to hit our goal of 10 deals per month. Does that make sense? But the truth is, like, nope, like wholesalers, they have no replicable sales process or systems. And that's why it's easy to beat them. So we want to stop hustling and we want to start thinking like a CEO where our business is built on data, not just luck. Now, what is kind of like the new way versus the old way? Now, I'll let you pick, right? So our job as wholesalers is to do lead generation, talking to people that are motivated, and we got to be able to contact them in order to get the property under contract so we get more deals and we make money, right? But kind of like the old way is saturated because you're doing those call calls and SMS. That's low leverage. It's manual, slow, takes too long, and it's unpredictable. But with the new way, with Facebook ads, you can bring them directly to you. It's automated and instant, and you can systemize it and you can scale it as big as you want. Because once you know how much it costs you to get a deal, you can just spend more money in marketing to get more deals. You have it. Now you know why wholesaling it's the best, beginner friendly, that's high profit, high margin, that's more scalable than the other methods. And the truth is, like I said, most people are going to be doing those old methods, so it's easy to beat them. And the reality is that you have two options. You can do what everybody does, or you can adopt the new way, adopt our systems, and get to 20K per month as quick as possible using our exact ads, our exact sales process that we use to make 20K plus per month, not like 100. We make more than 100 now, thank God. But you're paying to make more money. And I just kind of ask you, which route would you go? I know which I would do. If you like the second option better, click the link on my YouTube, send me a message on Instagram and see if you qualify for us to be able to help you. And the people that basically adopt this are going to be the one that are going to win. And I have another video breaking down our exact sales process, which I'll link down below. But with that being said, I'm rooting for you. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.